Well, today was another day of shame for our country. It was another day of national embarrassment because our Attorney General and principal legal advisor to the government came to court to once again display sheer ignorance, embarrassing the nation, making a mockery of himself and wasting the time of everybody. And I stand here feeling very sad and ashamed as a Ghanaian that this is the level of thinking, knowledge of the Attorney General. Clearly, this is a man who does not understand his own case. And you've seen how Jagpa has schooled him today on his own case. You know, to start with, the Attorney General suggested that Big C could not supply genuine ambulances because they had overpaid themselves. They and Jagpa had overpaid themselves in fees. But Jagpa educated the AG that this is an agreement which went through the Health Committee of Parliament, the Finance Committee of Parliament, the Cabinet, went to the PPA for approval. And in fact, if you look at Exhibit X, which is the legal opinion authored by the Attorney General on this whole matter, the Attorney General was categorical that all the necessary statutory approvals which are conditioned precedents for the agreement had been met. And so clearly, the Attorney General cannot be making that argument. Again, today I even learned for the first time that this whole talk about ambulances not being fit for purpose and all that is fully contrived, because in actual fact, the ambulances we were supplied with as a country by Big C were better in quality, in size, in form, in everything than what we had actually contracted for and paid for. We contracted for Mercedes-Benz vans with specification 309. As a result of government's delay in establishing the letters of credit owing to the financial difficulties we had at the time on our hands as a government, the contracted ambulance 309 left the markets, and Big C had to give us a higher spec ambulance. The Attorney General could not rebut that. So these people knew that we got a higher spec ambulance 311, far better than what we paid for, far more expensive. And yet they've been running rampage all over the place, lying that ambulances were supplied which were not, up to specification, when we had ambulances supplied above the specification. He spoke about, the contract lapsing and all that. Again, Jagpa referred him to the Attorney General's legal opinion, which is very relevant because you see, it shows that everything Honorable Ato Forson, Honorable Setekbe, everything they did in relation to the letters of credit which were established were not decisions they took on their own. They were bound by the legal opinion of the Attorney General, which is binding on them. Which legal opinion is sound. Even a small boy who has not been to the law school will tell you that this legal opinion is sound. We had to comply with the terms of that. Then you saw the arguments between Jagpa and the Attorney General about whether or not Exhibit AF1 is a report or an addendum. Look, this is elementary contract law. A contract is not necessarily a deed which has been titled a contract. A normal letter, a normal document can be construed as by the court as contracts based on the terms and the nature. So yes, it is a report from a visit from a delegation from Ghana to Dubai. But look at the terms of that report. It contains obligations for governments, obligations for Big C. So if you want to construe that report as you ought to construe it, you will know that this is a legal document. It is because it has contractual obligations on both parties which have been signed to and witnessed. Usually you don't see reports being witnessed. It is only documents that have legal consequences that are witnessed. And that document did not spring up from nowhere. It sprang up as a result of government triggering the dispute resolution, provisions in the contract, and therefore constitutes an amendment or a settlement of a sort, which you cannot read the contract in isolation of you have to read them together at this point. Then I thank Jakpa for giving this dishonorable, crooked character of an attorney general that free education, even though he's not a lawyer. Then you saw him repeat his ignorance about the effect of letters of credit, suggesting that letters of credit constitute advance payment. And Jakpa educated him that every letter of credit contains condition precedents. One of it is the point of negotiation. And the point of negotiation for this one was a Jebel Ali port in Dubai. So you can't say that if you see a provision in the contract that says that payment shall only be made on sight of goods, then it means that on sight of goods means when you see the goods at Tema port. When as an attorney general, you are supposed to read these simple things and know that the negotiation point is a Jebel Ali port in Dubai. So once it is shipped from there and Big C received the bill of lading documentations, and that is it, they have made the condition precedents. Another ignorance of the attorney general exposed. Then you saw the misinterpretation of a balance sheet, which has opening accounts, closing account, elementary, even me. The little accounting they taught me at the law school, I understand this. You just see figures in a balance sheet and you interpret that to mean payment to BC. When that has to do with transactions, debit and credit in the account from which the letter of credit was established, and not payment to BC. And Jakpa exposing. But for me, the most embarrassing one, perhaps, was when the Attorney General categorically suggested that, look, there is nothing in the agreement. There is nothing in the agreement that says that Big C will be converting funds into ambulances. He was so sure. Take it and show me. Then Jakpa educated him, read it to him. Clause 21, that the entire agreement includes the annexes. And Annex B is clear about conversion. The Attorney General has had X all over his face. So embarrassed. You know, I was looking at the spokesperson, my good brother, Ato Forson, called them. The man could not even raise up his head. He was so embarrassed that his boss, the Attorney General, could not examine this document properly. Then you put that aside. The Attorney General was also categorical. You see, this man is a local champion only because he specializes in fixing matches. But you see, now that everybody is watching the proceedings and he has met his meter, Jakpa, you see how he's being exposed. You don't even read documents that you are cross-examining a witness on. You don't read. And you come and tell Jakpa that, look, read the Attorney General's letter. Where did he never, Sammy was categorical, that the Attorney General never told government to establish a letter of credit. You are in court. Then Jakpa read it. Then the Attorney General was clear that government is bound by the terms and should perform the terms. What are the terms? Key term is the letter of credit. So clearly, that is how bankrupt in knowledge related to this case this Attorney General is, and he's moving all over the place, you see, because he himself doesn't believe in this case. He says he was being pressured by Kenuforiata and the Kufuado to persecute Ato Forson and hope that they will win the case, go for a by-election, in the belief that Fantas are cheap and get one more seat that they don't deserve. And today you've seen the results. Then last but two, you saw this whole talk about the ambulances being defective. The ambulances were not fit for purpose. Today Jakpa has settled the matter. Because he's pointed us to exhibits before the court that some of us were not even aware of. That the ambulances were never intended to be used. I said this on News File some time ago and people did not understand. Because you have ordered for ambulances, the supplier has supplied the ambulances and says, I'm not done with my work. Your duty is to clear them for me because it's a CIF transaction. Pack them at a safe place. I will now come and install the medical accessories, train paramedics and hand them over to you. If you use it, you avoided the warranty. On what basis do you conduct post-delivery inspection on ambulances that have not been handed over to you and make a conclusion that they are defective when the ambulances have not been completed and handed over to you? You see the mischief. And Jakpa exposes them that the medical accessories have been shipped. They were shipped in October 2016, arrived at Tema Port November, cleared. The container has been emptied. The container now is in China. Akufuado, Bawumia, Dame and his people, the MPP, they've taken custody of the accessories. We don't know where they are. When what they are required to do is that once you take custody of the accessories, you must inform Big C to come and install. Now, what the accessories now, you won't tell them to come and install. Who is causing financial loss? for 7 to 8 years. Where are the accessories? In order for them to contrive this baseless case against Ato Forson and persecute him, they have hidden, concealed the medical accessories. And Salam, you and your colleagues here, go to the Ministry of Health. They cleared accessories. These are taxpayers' funds. Ask them, where are the accessories? We need accessories. Let us fix them into the ambulances and use it. We need ambulances. You see, who buys an ambulance off the shelf? This is right. Ask anybody who buy the ambulances that have a Kunsin box. Did they buy them off the shelf? They bought the vans from Mercedes, and the accessories came in years after, almost 2 years before they installed them. Because an ambulance is a tailor-made vehicle. You don't go to any manufacturer, Mercedes, and Mercedes will say this is an ambulance. No, you buy it, you get accessories and all that, then you install. That is what they have even done. So please, the mischief has got to stop. And it was very sad at some point seeing Godfred Ame begging for time, misquoting his own exhibits, miscounting days and all that. It was so sad. And even though we are not here to defend Jackpa, we are here to solidarize with the the minority leader. I cannot but sympathize with Mr. Jackpa. Clearly, you can see that this is a victim. He has had his day in court. His witnesses will come to court, and I believe that at the end of the day, the truth will be vindicated. But finally, let me commend the trial court, the judge, for agreeing to allow the proceedings to be streamed live. So henceforth, some of us may not be coming with the monitoring. The whole nation can monitor. And we commend the court. Transparency is very key to this matter of considerable public interest. And we commend Justice Etia Sewa and the courts. Thank you.